A man sits polishing his shield in Quoy's northern guard barracks. Nicks and dents cover its wooden surface, but still it remains, ready to fend off any blow, as does the man. His name is Okino. His whole body aches after spending a week straight trudging through the stretch of forest west of Quoy. He and his 2 companions are some of the many scouts tasked with braving the worst of the Ikoi rainforest. They've been searching for any information pertinent to the woodsman. After returning yesterday, another task has been added to that list, keeping an eye out for 2 missing kids. Ekon said something about a third having been already returned by a group he had hired to look into things. One of them's that lizard folk you mentioned, Ekon had said, with armor made of bones. Okino didn't know the lizard folk's name, but he held his shield with a level of confidence not often found. That alone had earned his respect. Unknown to Okino, Ekon, and the rest of the guard, that group of 3 has just rescued Tobi from the clutches of a vile creature. Just north of Quoy, Eamon and Tobi sit in disbelief as the creature's den has been blown to smithereens by, you guessed it, phosphorus. We cut to the party as they calm down Tobi and take stock after their battle.
I don't think that thing will be bothering anybody again for a long time. As Phosphorus steps around the burnt corpse.
Did you drag the burnt corpse out of the entrance?
Yeah, I would probably just see. I mean, I know it's singed to all hell, but I just want to see if I can, with my sort of knowledge of creatures that can do this sort of stuff, try to figure out if I can parse together what exactly it is. If they're like solitary creatures, if I'm like looking with anything else, possibly with a den nearby.
Yeah, so you guys, you will register. You can make a occultism or nature check.
I'm just attempting to calm down and gather info from Tobi.
Nature with a -1.
He has to kind of retake a couple deep breaths after the explosion, but yeah, he...
I'm not like grilling him on stuff.
Yeah. But he takes the ration and starts just like slowly chewing it a bit, and then he's like, "Do you have any water?"
Yeah, I take out my water.
And he
water
just
skin, give him some.
Pretty much chugs the whole thing. But yeah, what'd you get?
With a -1 nature, 18.
That's pretty good. Yeah. You have heard of these things more in the way that they're told as like
fables or something?
Yes, then you have like these are things that exist and this is how you fight them, blah blah blah, things like that. Any actual experience? But this is a type, one of the lesser types of a group of fey creatures that are called boogeymen. They are the classic kind of trope of like lure away and scare normally children from like the classic boogeyman style, like in your closet or under your bed, stuff like that. And they just delight in like purely mental and physical torture. They're beings of. It is not a stretch to say they're beings of evil. Yes, there's no redeeming qualities about them.
Okay. So
in terms of, they do normally function alone. They do not function in groups in any way. Some of the higher level ones, or like more competent ones, might have underlings, so to speak, but it does not strike you that this was one of those.
So in a very methodical yet gruesome manner, I just want to like put away my shield, put away my flail, and I'm just going to like dismember this thing and just like throw its pieces out, like just so
you are aware of things. You more than anyone are aware of things being reanimated. So yeah.
You can dismember all of its pieces and toss them.
I only ask because I assume it's the case. You do this out, like a move it away from Tobi before doing this, like around the other side of the Kipu tree.
So you were taken in by this thing.
Yeah, just hitting off its head.
Did you say you were tortured? Tears an arm off.
Is this the thing that tortures
you?
Yeah,
he chugs the water and he says,
"Oh, shit, put arsenic in that one."
You guys guards?
We got hired by them to go searching out for you.
Thank you.
Sure. As we finish up and you rest up here, it'd be safer to rest up back in town. So as soon as you're able, why don't you start trying to remember exactly what's been happening these past week or two, and telling us as much as you possibly can on the way back. And I can buy you a drink and we can get you situated back in the city.
Once I'm done with my dirty deed, I do just want to come back and I will just sort of squat down next to him like, I'm not the best at reassuring, but I can tell you this much, that thing will not bother you any longer. He is gone for good. You will not be having... Hopefully this will be the first night of true sleep you will have.
He just gives like a nod Anything you want to do before you guys start walking back? Phosphorus?
Yeah, now that I thought about it, that second water skin I grabbed,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pour both my containers of arsenic into it.
Okay. Give it to Toby. No.
No?
Now you'll
That's
really
Thirsty
sleep.
boy.
I'm just going to hold on to that.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Those are the permanent ones. They won't go away, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
And then I'm going to turn to Toby.
I'll tell you this. You only need to pour one in. Pouring two in won't give you any benefit, so just spend one of them.
I didn't know if I could, like, because there was still water in it, I don't know if that would, like, allow multiple people to drink from it.
One would be enough
Got it.
to...
Taint the whole thing.
Okay, yeah. If you put two in, you will have 2 doses of this, like, arsenic poisoned water.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you put one in, you'll have 1 dose. That's fair. Yeah, for sure.
I will turn to Toby, be like, have you seen, like, a 10-year-old kid or a white fox around here?
Can this be as we're walking?
Yeah, he kind of just, like, looks at you still a little wide-eyed and now more awe than anything else. You did... So, for the two of you, Eamon and Renestier, you did notice, much to his chagrin, even though how hard he tried, there is just... It's too wet here. He was starting to get slowly lighter and lighter. He is back to how you met him, Phosphorus, covered in soot and basically a black rat through and through. A dark-furred soot. Black furred, yeah.
I love the smell of Aqua's fire in the morning.
And yeah,
Stain the sheets in the
he
tavern.
just like shakes his head, like I said, kind of wide-eyed. And I don't know. Should I have?
No,
Nah,
you can
just-
put it out of your mind. It's no concern.
While we're walking, or I guess out of game, whatever works. We can. I told him, I said, if you don't feel like going back to your home right yet, we have some rooms at the Emperor's Inn. If you'd like to
he
get a
does
hot
have-
meal and some.
He does have basically adopted parents. I'm sure they would be able to reassure him better than we could.
It's up to you. Where do you want to go? I would rather you. If you're not going to come back with us to the tavern, I would tell us your story now. I know you're tired. I was going to let you wait till you get a hot meal, but if you're going back to somebody else's place, then I would like to be able to write down your story to relay to the guards that hired us.
I can tell you now.
Okay. I just get out my journal while we're walking. That's what I'm going to be doing. Is just sort of jotting down everything I can.
Yeah, just for past couple weeks, kept having nightmares about my mom, my dad. They're dead. And it was just a lot of things that... And you can tell he's like treading the line of like, if I talk about it, I might not actually be able to talk about it, kind of thing, where it's like when someone tries to talk about something that they're very emotional about, getting into the details might make them too emotional to continue.
Did anything happen to make these start? You don't have to tell me exactly what the nightmares were, but did anything happen? Did you notice anything strange happen like the first night these started, or did they just kind of come out of nowhere? I don't know if this creature would have had to make his way into the city to do this to you from so far away, or if...
Oh, well, yeah, Renister can shed light on this because he identified correctly what this was. They do have magical capabilities to do things over distance.
Yeah, but even mine's like max 500 feet, so
Yes,
it's like
that-
you can't go like a mile away.
They would have, to some degree, a way to do it a pretty good distance away. You would know that this thing would probably have to get close to the walls to do what it did.
Okay.
I'm not saying it never went into the city and, like I said, was under his bed or something, but you
My
know that
assumption
these
is that's
things,
just the biggest thing that guards would be worried about is if
Yeah.
this thing was in the city or not.
Yeah,
so
it's
what I
kinda-
wanna decipher.
it's kind of hard to tell. And he says, they just kind of started happening. I don't know.
And what, Renister, you want to show him that note you have? I want to ask him if he remembers writing this and
Yeah,
what was
he,
happening during that moment.
The voice said that if I told anybody, it'd kill me. So I didn't want anybody to die.
When did it start talking to you while you were awake?
Around the same time as the nightmare. Didn't happen often at first when I was awake.
Okay. Well, we're glad you're safe. Do you want us? Where do you want us to take you back to? You seem like you're in good health. We can take you to the clinic in case you want to get checked out again. It's up to you.
Yeah, let's go to the clinic.
Okay, sounds good.
What were the two workers' name again?
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Tashira and Kawa.
I will go tell Tashira and Kawa that you are safe, and they will visit you at the clinic as soon as they can.
Visibly, you see his like for the first time, a little bit of light come back into his eyes, and he just like nods.
And
Out of game, did you say he had guardians of some
That's
kind?
In game,
That's
he
them.
said
Oh,
he
that's
had
them. Okay. Yep.
adoptive parents.
I remember them saying that in that last session,
Yeah.
that they were like his family.
Yeah, to remind you guys, because you guys all shared this information. Basically, his dad died. His mom died when he was very young. His dad died when he was like preteen, very young teens, if not a little earlier. I don't fully remember. But his dad was always in the maintenance. Was in the maintenance guild forever. He's been tinkering forever. And those two are a couple, and they kind of just took him under his wing ever since his parents died. They live close by to him. He has his family home to himself. But yeah, they're basically his parental figures and have been for the last 4 years.
I would just say to him, and Tobi, whether it be from some creature with ill intent or just in general, strength comes from those that we put our trust in. Next time, if you're having troubles like this, you should rely on your adopted parents, your friends. They're there for that reason. Hopefully, if this were to come up again, you don't feel so isolated.
He nods. You can tell that like he's like runs it through and says like, yeah, I mean they killed it. So
On the way to the clinic, I would just like to sketch out a quick formula for Alchemist Fire.
yeah, what do you mean sketch out?
Just like write down what needs to be made.
Okay, yeah. Can I ask why?
I'm gonna give him a copy of it.
Who?
Toby.
Oh, okay.
He does like tinkering.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Come back, his house is burned down the next day and dead inside.
Yeah, I mean, you can sketch that up. I mean, you literally just have to copy it from your formula book. And he
Seems like
he
you're
takes
sowing
it.
the seeds of
I'm
destruction.
He's
just
like-
gonna hand it to him
Very confused.
for future reference. Any issues you have can always be solved with Alchemist Fire.
If it's
I
violence,
take-
violence is not always the
take
answer,
that,
Toby.
Take that with a grain of salt,
No,
Toby.
it is absolute truth. Every issue I've
Renister
ever
already
had, I
gone?
fixed with Alchemist Fire. Renister is also after Renister has left. I
never
made
said I
specific
left.
sure. You went to go get the.
You went to go talk to his parents. We're going to the clinic with him.
Hold
We
on.
didn't establish when this happened.
Hold on, because they would stop you at the gate because you walk up with the missing person. We don't have to roleplay through that.
Can we hold him
'cause
for
you
ransom?
It would basically just be you relaying information we've already talked through, anyways.
Yes.
And yeah, you two can go to the clinic. You can go find his his kind of parental figures.
Where would Econ be in, like, would I perceivably be able to see Econ on the way, or would it be out of the way? to
You
go
do
see
not
the
know. Econ's captain of the guard. He's presumably very busy.
Sure, I mean his
when
office.
when you met him, yeah, I mean you could go by
Just
his
see if
office.
he's there.
The only times you've seen him interact with him was when he's like on duty. But yeah, you can check for sure.
Where do we get paid?
All of the
Step down, Mr. Child.
barracks. There's one by each gate. Like a barracks is a loose term. They're not super big.
I
but
guess
it's
if
communal
the
living
guards,
for the
I
guards.
would even just check with the guards at the gate if they have any idea where Econ is, if he's been like at a meeting or anything.
They he's they say he has the night shift.
probably
So he's sleeping. It is basically middle of the day. It's probably 11, 12.
okay.
Where did he tell us to go get our money from?
Well, we're still. We still haven't finished.
He
up on
didn't
the
really
lesson.
tell you. He just said he would pay you.
Okay.
We're not
So
done yet.
presumably
man.
him.
We still
Calm
got to
down.
eat during this whole thing.
But but yeah, he you guys you go to find his
Yes.
parents in parentheses. You two take him to the clinic. Fionn takes him in happily. He like nods to you in a cautious way when
I'm
you
just
give
like,
him the note.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gives him a bed and does an examination. You can tell that like he definitely isn't aware he was magically healed, and obviously since the mental damage is so much, Fionn almost does the thing where she like runs through everything and talks him through it so that he knows he's physically fine.
She's also
to, like,
seen me do
reassure
the
him.
healing stuff
Yeah,
before.
exactly. Yeah, she's not confused by it. She's just like, she doesn't need to closely examine him to know that he's going to be fine, but she does anyways in the hopes that like doing so calms him a bit.
Is there a therapist in this town?
I don't know. You're pretty good at diplomacy. Maybe you should be there.
How do you feel, really?
You put on glasses and your voice gets deeper.
Come into my office.
But yeah, she sets him up in a bed. And you guys, again, you don't have to roleplay this because you're just repeating information again and again. Can give her the gist of what happened. And yeah, you go to the Dog Workers Guild because you technically don't know where they would be because they're probably working.
Yeah.
And when you get there, that same woman is there before, that you kind of startled before. She doesn't get startled this time, but as you come in, heavy footsteps, you guys have a quick back and forth of where they are. And the guy that Eamon talked to, Thal, when you first went to get information on Spencer, for Bosco, comes out. He is a humanoid. He has deep blue skin that's always a little wet, kind of like a tied around bandana on his head, but you can see there's weird like ridges running down his head. But yeah, he sticks his head out and he goes, "Hey,
can I help you?
I hear you go with that drow kid. He's still in town?
Maybe I haven't checked.
Can you ask him why he didn't show up? He
Yeah.
said he was coming to work."
Yeah, I can. I heard you the promising lead with the guards, so that might be why. That's not a lie. We did do work for the guards. I'm just being vague.
Yeah, but you did lead with "I don't know," and you were literally with him.
I don't know where he's at currently.
10 minutes ago. I want to have you roll deception.
Am I my Eamon's keeper?
You are misleading him. Damn it. Whether you are blatantly lying.
I mean,
or
unless you're talking
misleading
about the clinic, I have no idea where he is.
him. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. I mean, Eamon, I'm sure you remember, but you were like, "Yeah, I'd love to come work that night." Yeah.
11.
He gives you a look and then just goes back into his office.
You shoot the door like, motherfucker.
I just turn. I'm like, he
If I see him,
completely bought it.
I am only going to pretend I do not know who he is.
But yeah, they're the
Like one night standing him.
Must be looking for someone else. You're the only drow in town. I don't know.
the two of them. Oh, you talking about my twin brother? I'm Simon. That's Eamon.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, they are working in one of the Kipu trees. Again, actually, yeah, we'll roleplay that because it's a big thing for them. Yeah. But yeah, so you go up into
It's for them, not
the
for
Kipu
me.
tree. You have to go up to the highest level of the neighborhoods because they are working on some of the stuff that's on one of the big reservoirs on top of the Kipu trees. And you can see there's a lot of wooden scaffolding and ladders that kind of lead up above the canopy, and you can just make out a figure kind of moving just above the canopy, and one of them is kind of standing on one of the small platforms just under the highest canopy, working. Tashira is kind of on the lower bit, and she hears you approach and looks down, and gives like a wave. She's a good 60 to 80 feet above you.
Okay.
Not out of talking distance, but like.
I have good news for you. Whenever you're done finishing whatever you are doing up there, obviously safety first.
What's good news?
Tobi is returned.
Immediately she like whips her head around. She's like, "Kawa!" And you see the like shape of the figure like jolt. And he's like, "Fuck's sake! I'm working,
Falls off
woman."
the tree.
Yeah, and
Falls off, breaks his neck.
Osha's just staring.
Comes down, and they both scale down very quickly. And they go, where is he? Where is he?
He's at the clinic being looked at. He is physically very well, but currently he is quite disturbed. Unfortunately, it appears he became the target of a creature known to torment people for its own amusement and sustenance in some cases. But he himself is quite all right. I don't mean to tell you that for you to be concerned. It's been taken care of. He will no longer be in danger by any means. He's, again, physically, by all means, definitely okay, but obviously he's quite rattled from this experience.
Yeah. She throws her arms around you, gives you a big hug.
I'm just kind of like taken off guard, like my hand's kind of up, like I don't
she
really
doesn't say anything.
I
She's
sort of
attacking.
I like bludgeon her. No, I just
back, you fiend.
That creepy lady's
attacking-
hand hugs her back.
no, I just like sort of like awkwardly, like obviously a person who's not very well socialed. I sort of just give like a pat with like one of my big hands.
Yeah, and she lets go and just immediately starts quickly making her way down, and Kyle walks up to you and like extends a hand.
And I I tried to impart in him that you two definitely care about him. So, certainly keep an eye on him in this definitely mentally trying time for him. But hopefully he will be more open to share with you when he's going through such things.
He looks you dead in the eyes, even though he's kind of looking up at you in a very dad way. He goes, "Thank you, son. Thank you so much."
Certainly, I'm happy we were able to return them to you.
And then he
Flicks you a
heads
gold
off
piece.
too. Here's this ancient magical item I was waiting to
I'm
bestow
suddenly
upon
just
some-
wearing.
Here's his inheritance.
I'm suddenly wearing a top hat and pull it off and edge it over. Wiggle, wiggle.
They head over to the. You guys don't have to wait at the clinic until they get there, but you can.
I would.
I'm regrouping at the tavern.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably
You can
follow
all
up
regroup
with
at the
that.
tavern.
It's probably like 10 a.m. No, like noon.
Yeah, it's around noonish now. Still not much of a crowd. There's not really a lunch rush at the tavern because a lot of the population works in the field, so they're just not out in the city during the day. But there's a few people in there.
All right, well, that's 2 down, but we still have 1 ticking clock left unaccounted for.
Do you think there's anybody left we can get some information from? Anyone at all?
I'd like to follow up with the guards to see if they've have any further information for us to investigate.
With that elf.
Yes, either that or if something came up, perhaps they made contact with his mother, Kubo's mother, but
If they've been sending out scout teams in the north, maybe we can get one to come with us south.
potentially. Ideally, we can look further and see if we can double our efforts, because now that 2 of the children are safe, I'm sure that they'll be able to pool more resources into one final person.
Yeah.
We weren't able to pool any resources at all.
Well, exactly. But
But
I'm
if they've
saying
been
if we had
sending
3,
scout teams north, maybe they can spare one to go south with us now that
yes, we've
only
already
one
proven
left.
that we're reliable in 2 instances, but this appears to be a little bit tougher than just walking out into a field.
Do I know where Tajima stays at all, or any way to contact her at all?
She would have just when she told you if anyone gives you trouble, to just ask a guard. They normally
Okay.
know where she or Econ is at.
Do I have any inclination, or is there anyone that I could go ask that would have a general layout of notable locations to the south of town in that general vicinity that
Like a
we were
jungle map.
I mean, from what you understand in just being in a town, there are no notable invocations to the south. There is. It's just untamed
at?
jungle.
Is there any even scouts who've been through that area who might have an inclination that I could probably suss out?
That you probably wouldn't know unless you talk
Okay.
to
That's probably I
someone.
would probably bring that up then to them. Of just we should try to check with the guards to see if there's anyone familiar with that area.
Yeah, we should try to find Tajima if we can. She seems a little more accessible than Econ, and she has a little more weight to pull. So if she's going to send someone with us,
I'd still like to follow up with Econ if possible. If you want to
Yeah.
take care of that, I can try to follow up with Econ.
sure. Phosphorus, what you want to do?
Let's go meet that weird lady again.
The one that tried to dump water on you?
Yeah, I knew that's
Dump
what
water on you.
She
And
might
when
have.
he- when he
She
came-
might have just been trying
I'm
to
just-
clean your fur, friend.
I just have a puzzled look
What's
on
wrong
my
with my
face.
fur?
I'm sure they haven't. They haven't
Yeah.
really mentioned that. I'm like, what?
It might have some dandruff. As I shake it, and ash falls out.
Did you make a
Not-
bad first
that's not
impression?
dandruff.
Were you stinky?
No, this guard tried to dump water on Eamon to get information. I noticed she was wearing armor underneath, and she avoided all questions regarding her armor and her ill intent.
Until she told us everything and the truth that she's a guard, and she
Yeah,
was
it
just,
took too long.
I still think it's because you're stinky. Anyway,
you see, I get in trouble if I lie to guards, but guards don't get in trouble if they lie to me. It's kind of
That-
bullshit.
yeah.
keep politics out of this.
I'm not.
We're an apolitical organization.
I don't give a damn
We're
about
a
politics.
political party. Oh no!
I'm just saying there shouldn't be any
We gotta
politics.
go over the southern border. Anyway,
We'll build a wall and keep the 3 people out.
So yeah, you're looking for
Starting a
Econ,
wall.
Yes.
and you're looking for
Tajima.
Tajima.
Just ask the closest guard. And try to
Yeah,
find her.
but I mean, both of you could have that.
Can I gather information quicker because I can?
Yeah, I mean, all you would need to do is find the closest guard, and you get the information you need.
Perfect.
So no checks are needed either way. You are pointed, Renisteer, to the North Gate Barracks. This is where Econ is sleeping. Eamon and Phosphorus. You were told that Tajima is at the Arcane Assembly Hall right now.
Okay,
Oh, you better.
sounds good. I head that direction with Phosphorus.
Okay. We will do Renasteer first because we did you two first last time. You fiends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you head to the northern barracks. There is that kind of commons area in this barracks that was in the Westgate barracks that you guys talked to Econ in before. And then there is kind of a back area that's just a bunch of rooms. Some of them are single rooms. Econ has one of those, is presumably in one of those, and there's a door that leads to a more barrack-style living for a bulk of the lower-level guards to just stay there as well. You do know what room he is in. He is in the first. If you go into the hallway, it goes to the right and left. He is the one directly across the room.
I would probably ask one of the guards if they have any idea when he typically wakes up.
If he's working late nights, probably around 7 p.m.
So he
Be my
might have
guess.
gone back to bed quite soon. Or he has probably gone to bed here pretty recently, I should say.
Yeah, it's kind of the middle of the night for him, so to speak.
It's without me having to disturb him. Do you know of anyone who, in scouting parties, who has any thorough knowledge of the southern region of the jungles?
Not that I'm aware of, but Tajima's in charge of the scouts, so she might know.
Okay. Well, in that case, also, I did mention to some guards earlier about a missing boy named Kubo.
Yeah, we've been notified.
Has anything been gathered? Any information or anything?
I don't think so. I thought you guys were on that.
We are. I had just mentioned any information. I don't know if
Ooh,
anything had
gotcha.
come up.
Yeah, no, not that I've heard of.
Okay.
Anything for you? You're just kind of like sitting in the barracks talking to him now.
Yeah.
And he just looks around at just a huddle's happening in the crowd. Like, no, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything. No, not me.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, thank you for your time. I will let Econ sleep for now. It seems that we have.
you can definitely tell that they're the younger crop of guards, right?
Only the best
lower
and
levels.
brightest joined the
And
guard.
they're definitely very, at least intrigued by this large lizard man who is heavily armored in ivory armor, like made of bone and stuff. So yeah, they kind of warm up to you a little bit just because you're like very clearly martial.
I'm not a man of much like. I obviously
You're not
have
a
care. I try to. I'm not a man.
I'm a lizard
Your guys'
man.
turn. No, I'm just kidding.
You're a lizard.
I'm not a man of like pride. I'm more
Mhm.
just a person that tries to hold myself into a like respectable person. But there's a slight glimmer of like chuffed of like, I could get used to this. But I'm just
It's probably amplified by the fact that your closest traveling companion for the longest time absolutely clashes with you on literally everything.
I'm like
He's not even a little impressed by
I'm like,
you.
and I'm just sort of like, well, I better get going. Important work to get to. And I turn, like, as I'm leaving the door, I just turn around, like, and boys, keep up the good fight. I sort of strut out.
Okay, yep.
And then I would actually make a detour. I would stop by Kubo's mom's house.
Okay. You do. I will tell you that is past. It sounds small enough, so it's not like too far away. But you would not probably directly past it, but the Arcane Assembly Hall is right in the middle of the city, and the Kiba tree you're going to is by the south gate. So you're
I'd still
They also have
probably,
not met you
considering
yet,
how,
right?
what?
They've only met us two so far, so you'd be a brand new person to them.
I can just,
You
I
have the
wonder if
pendant
she'll
with
be
you.
able to recognize
have
if
the
I
pendant.
mention a rat man and a drow.
That's true.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
very-
she'd be
you
able
guys
to
are all
put
very
that-
recognizable.
What do you mean? We
yeah.
blend in
Sound went out
naturally.
again.
While you head over there, Phosphorus and Eamon, you guys head over to the Arcane Assembly Hall. Entryway, it is just as busy and as chaotic as ever.
Awesome.
And you actually see Tajima. She appears to be walking out from the hallway that leads to the left, the like hallway of cubicles. She looks very tired, deep bags under her eyes. And she's
Tajima.
walking out.
Hey,
Oh,
I just kind of
hello.
like
She walks over.
wave to her and try to catch her attention.
Yeah, she walks over, like on the way, rubbing the like tiredness out of her eyes. She's like,
How are you doing?
"All right, how are you guys?"
Doing okay. We've been
You,
working
what happened to
around the
you?
clock.
What do you mean?
His fur changed colors like a lot of lizards you'll find in the jungle. I'm just
Okay.
kidding. He blew up the lair of one of the creatures that kidnapped one of the missing people.
You know you can like get out of it before it blows up, right? Can you?
Why would you do that?
Hey, what did you need something?
It's like stepping back and looking at a beautiful painting.
You just can't take your eye off it.
I was just coming to ask. There's but one person left on our missing persons list.
Who? Which one? Sorry.
Kubo, the young boy, went missing from the south gate. I know the south is a very untamed, unknown region.
Yeah, a little bit, to say the least.
Even if you haven't sent scouts out there at all and there's not much info they can give us, if there is, that would be awesome. And I know you guys are stretched pretty thin as it is, but if we could even just spare 3 to 5 guards to come with us, we've cleared the area as best we can, find everything we could possibly find, and we are getting nowhere. And the longer we delay, the more chance that we will not find Kubo. So now that we found 2 out of 3, both Shinta and Tobi have been found, they are both safe. And I hate to ask more. You can cut it out of my share of the pay if you need to, but I think we need some more manpower for this.
Yeah. There's 3 to 5. Who? I can get 1 or 2.
Anything helps as long as we wouldn't have to, as long as there would be a help and not a burden.
Yeah. Yes. Have we sent scouts to the south before? Yeah. That is the most dangerous part of the jungle because you are heading deeper into the forest instead of adjacent.
Yeah.
So we have by far not been the farthest that way. At most a couple days out. But I'll head to the barracks right now, see if I can't round some people up for you.
Perfect. Do you want us to come with you, or do you want to send them to where we're staying?
As
soon as
south,
possible
right?
would be
They can
great.
meet you at the south gate.
Yeah, we'll just be there as soon as we can.
We know Kubo was taken by some woodsmen.
Okay.
Do you know of any, I guess, concentration of them in the south?
That's what scouts are working on. And me.
We possibly also ran into some people that were part of the bandits for the locomotes.
Really?
Yeah, we ran into
oh.
2 very particular. You want to show them the weapon?
Yeah, I'll show the rifle.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty hard to miss. It's just
There was an elf, the sun drow, that had this.
Sun elf.
Okay.
Wait, you said it was a sun drow.
Yeah, I mean, drows are elves. Same difference.
Yeah. Dude, this pairing, I love it. Amen and Phosphorus. You're just similar enough, but not the same to clash in a different way than Renisteer and Phosphorus.
There was 2 dwarfs, a sun elf.
Sun Elf.
Or drow, whatever.
Did the Sun Elf have the rifle?
Sun elf had the rifle.
Very
Huh.
deadly with it.
Do you know
Cast
who that
magic
is?
on it.
I believe that the from what I understand from the reports from the locomote guards, the leaders of the gang are 2 Sun Elves.
Okay, well, there's 1 left.
You killed him.
He burned alive, yes.
Yeah, he's dead. We killed him. We killed him hard.
And
Die
now,
hard.
And now this rifle's mine.
That's
So
good
you
to
are
know.
now the de facto half leader of this gang.
Correct.
I also like the idea of us running into him and they immediately pick out you're the guy who killed their brother.
Do you have a body? You guys done enough. You don't need a body. You can get the bounty. I'll get the bounty.
That'd be.
I can't get it right away. I need to get a search party together.
Yeah, we would prefer to
I
find
need
the
to get
kid
some
first
rest.
too. It's all
Do
good.
you have any idea where they're camped?
From what I understand, very far south. Presumably closer to the river than away from it because they attacked locomotes, but
That actually might be something to look at.
long ways away.
Yeah, we can.
I don't think we've
We can
ever
look
been
at
far.
that once we find the kid
Hope you don't run into any more snakes.
or snipers.
There are a lot of those.
That's such a big snake.
The
It
snake
didn't do
somehow,
anything, man. It was
The
just
snake somehow drew a picture of
You-
Phosphorus and was like,
You weren't.
showing the guards. Have you seen this rat?
You're not its possible food.
it's just
we can
wearing
get
like
you the bounty on that rat. Don't you worry.
Have you seen this rat?
it's just wearing like a
Oh,
trench
Jesus.
coat and a hat. It's
Well,
wearing
its
a
fur
trench
was
coat.
white
Yeah.
last time I saw it, but we'll just head straight for the south gate.
Yeah.
I need to stop and talk with
The Raven Lady.
what's the fuck's name?
What are you thinking of? The leader?
Yeah,
Was it Dill?
Dill Bilbus.
Uh huh.
Dill pickles.
Favorite name I've ever heard before. Dill. Yeah. He's in the
Who's
the
Dill
first
Bilbus
cubicle.
again?
His area. You've helped.
Oh,
him.
yeah,
He's the
yeah,
halfling
yeah.
dude who exploded his cubicle when you guys first came in here, and he is the hall head of this. He runs this arcane assembly hall. But yeah, you guys are well acquainted now. He's the one that's been giving you the jobs. You haven't worked a lot directly with him, but you report to him every day for what you need to get done. But yeah.
I'll try to find him.
Yeah, if you turn the corner of his cubicle, he is in there. He appears to be eating some sort of sandwich type thing while just tinkering with his left hand on a piece of sky shard.
Dill?
Phosphorus? What do you need?
So, found one of these, and I'll pull out the broken pistol. I don't have the tools required to repair it. If sometime can I come here and use yours, or do you have like someone low on the ladder that could take a look at it?
Yeah, you've done a lot of work for us. I can show you how to take care of that.
Perfect.
Shouldn't take too long. You pick up things quick.
Okay.
Do you want to leave it here?
Yeah, we'll leave it here. I'm in the middle of something. I'll come back.
But he picks it up. And
I was so ready to get pissed if he's like, I'm just going to tinker with this broken pistol while this kid's dying out.
It's
in
going to
the
be like 7
forest.
hours.
He takes it off and he's like, I'll get someone to clean it. And he like doesn't put it on his desk, just puts it on the floor, and then he turns the corner and he's like, hey, so I get over here.
Puts it on a sandwich.
Phosphorus walks in there and
the
walks
pistol.
back out.
I have a real knack for these things.
But yeah, you guys head to the south gate. Rester, you are going to
Kubo's mom's.
Yep.
Oh, you dog.
If you remember,
I saw your mom last night. Knocks.
If you remember the description I gave them, it is in the Porkipu tree, and it is a basic one-story home with a lot of greenery on the front of it.
Does the little gold pin have like a hook that I could just to avoid having to go with that conversation, just like put it prominently like on my armor?
It does not.
Oh,
it
okay.
is specifically just a pendant.
Just bounce it on my nose.
Oh, you just hold it.
Yeah.
In your, like,
Oh, yeah, I'll just have it.
FBI, open up. Yeah, but there's no one outside.
Knock
yeah.
on the door.
You hear footsteps, and you see you for the first time, but you've heard her described before. Teruya, she's wearing the same kimono I described before, the kind of black shawl that turns into a kimono like thing with the blue fire sewn onto it. With the knowledge you have now, blue fire is often a prominent thing in Kitsune culture. That'd be something you're aware of, I guess, because I just told you that without having you to make a roll, but we'll just say you succeeded, I guess, because I just gave you that. Sometimes I just do that because I like to explain things.
Freebie.
But, yeah. Then she kind of comes to the door and opens it up. And
I just immediately like show her the badge. I'm like, sorry to bother you, ma'am. I believe you spoke to my companions yesterday in regards to your son, a small rat man and a drow.
Aemon Phosphorus, right?
That is correct.
She's like, they have names.
Yeah.
That's all they are to me.
Yeah,
just archetypes.
Any news? She says scared and kind of hopeful at the thought of being visited after someone has been missing for so long.
Yes and no. Do you mind if I come in for just a moment?
Yeah, she lets you. You can see as Asai, who I mentioned before, kind of peeks her head out, and she just like waves her off, like she's good. And she lets you in the basic living room setup, and she sits at the table and
I'm like
please take a seat.
squeeze myself into a chair.
Yeah.
So I will say there has been progress that has been made. We've found a trail. That is the good news. As well as to what we have investigated so far, it does not appear that any harm has come to Kubo. But it does appear that he has been taken further south than we anticipated, and our trail has run a little bit cold. That is the bad news. I am aware of your situation, of what your true nature is.
She nods in understanding. Yeah.
Which is why I've come to sort of follow up. Since you and your son have been on the run, in the manner of speaking, is there anything that you've instilled in your son as far as if danger comes to him, what to do in that situation?
If I did, I don't know if it worked, because I always told him to never transform under any circumstances. And from what I understand, I think that went out the window.
Yes, unfortunately, it appears he was in a situation where anything to get away was the favorable option.
I do know he was very fond of his fox form. I'd scold him sometimes for turning into it when he was alone in his room. I'm not saying that means he is you will find him that way, but it's hard to get to stop that.
Certainly. I guess I won't say that. I will say there is definitely still hope. We're still on the lookout. Unfortunately, it does appear. I apologize if I'm blunt. I'm just trying to give you as much information as we have gathered, and I'm out of the three of us probably the least soft about these topics. But I will unfortunately say that it does appear that Kubo has gone in the more dangerous end of things. Is there any information that you can give us that would potentially help us find him? Anything that we can even say to reassure him if we were to call out to him? Because we are three random strangers in his eyes that are calling out his name. He might even think that we are from the group of people looking for you and your son. And I would like to avoid them thinking that.
His name is not Kubo, technically. We changed that. He's known it for a very long time, so he would respond to it. He's been like that since he's had that name since his father disappeared. If you could, he doesn't know that his dad was taken. But it's not that he wouldn't respond to Kubo, but in terms of allowing you to trust him, his name by birth is Kwan. Kwan.
Thank you. I appreciate you trusting us with this matter. Of course, as previously stated, we are trying to handle this in the most delicate way we can, all things considered. But at this point, we would rather put all the every available resource we have on the table to ensure that he is safe above anything else. But before I return to this search for him, is there anything else at all you can think of that would aid us in finding him?
I don't think so.
Well, I apologize I don't come back with more definitive news, but
I'm aware a child doesn't go missing for this long and turn up alive often.
I just sort of solemnly nod my head in agreement.
So don't blame yourself if the outcome isn't what we want.
I appreciate that, but even still, keep the faith.
Praise to Zetios.
Zetios watch over us all, but with luck we will... With luck, I would say that your son is aware of needing to stow himself away at the very least. Hopefully we can just find him hiding somewhere. But we will try our best to get him back to you regardless, and you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
And I just sort of nod at her and stand up and turn to leave. And
yeah, she walks through the door. You go.
Yeah, okay. Then I'd return back to the tavern.
Okay. Well, yeah. On the way.
Sorry, we're not there.
On the way, you run into Phosphorus and Eamon heading towards the south gate.
Okay.
You would, yeah.
I would relay the information.
Yeah, you can all have the information you
Would
have.
you tell us his name?
Yeah, Kubo's real name is Kwan.
And we're getting a few scouts spared to us, just one or two, but just an extra pair of eyes. How much should we tell them? I mean, I think the whole thing is they want to keep a secret that he could be a fox, but that's very unhelpful.
At this point, I think above everything else, we need to...
Just tell him if you see a boy or a fox.
I think at this point, if we return with Kubo, we should try to get the city more aware of their situation so they can better protect these two should anyone come looking for them. I think at this point
true.
we can't withhold any resource.
So far the guards have been good with me, and I know what I am is not nearly the same as what they are, but they have been nothing but good.
I don't...
If you're a good person, they
as-
seem like good people.
As I would imagine I would probably pick up on this as well, but I would probably pick up they aren't a very corrupt city, like group of guards.
Doesn't seem so. They're kind of too
Isolated?
yeah, and
Small
too
town.
the city's small enough that there isn't a lot of like all of the guards know each other,
Yeah.
and also the idea that I guess you could have picked this up being here. At any time, a guard can stop being a guard.
right.
Econ runs the guard in a way that's very open. If you don't want to be a guard, don't be a guard, because they'd rather have less guards that care about being a guard than
Right.
more guards that don't, which so far has worked in terms of keeping them a close-knit and well-running group. It also has the downside of probably having less guards than you normally would if you didn't run it that way.
Right.
But yeah, they don't seem everything you've interacted with.
But in the grand scheme of things, I've seen that they're
Yeah.
relatively like. I'm assuming also a town this small, they, like most people know each other's names of like who lives here.
Yeah, it's less through the whole town, probably a little bit less than often, because it is still a pretty big.
Right.
You would consider it a city. It is not a town.
Sure.
But since there's
But
the
if there are any
guards function that
suspicious
way,
people coming
Yes.
in, they would be able to more adequately like.
yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Someone was asking around
That-
about that.
I would probably say that a little bit of faith will have to go into this, but I think that we can, if we trust the city guard, we may be able to. We should try to get them to trust the guards more, because hopefully they can more adequately keep them protected. In this situation, I think at this point she would prefer to have him found, but I also don't want them to immediately flee the city once we have found them.
There'd be no point to bringing the scouts out here anyway, especially if we're going to hinder them by not giving them all the
Right. I
information.
think at this point we need to lay everything out on the table, or else we'll yield no results
Yeah.
past what
Okay.
we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get to the south gate, and after about 20-25 minutes, which isn't all that long because it takes at least 15 to 20 to just make it across. 15. And she said she had to gather some people. You see a group of 3 guards, 2 male, 1 female.
Nice.
All of them you recognize Renisteer as from when they were in that group that you talked to.
When
and
we brought back the girl, or
no, all of them you recognize from
Oh,
just earlier when you were looking for
yes.
the
Econ.
ones
okay.
that view you as a literal god.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
The really
but,
young ones?
more of
You've
a
been selected for a
oddity.
special
you,
mission.
you
friends.
might say that's why you got 3 instead of 2.
Oh.
And yeah, one of the one that talked to you before walks up and he says, Okano, by the way. Oh, I guess, get a cowboy accent. Okano, by the way. I'm losing it, dude. I can't do it. I've been doing it too long. But yeah.
Renister, this is Phosphorus and Aemon. I appreciate you taking the time to assist us in this matter.
They didn't have them before. They were a little dressed down. Now all their armor's on and they have the ponchos on. They say, here we're heading south.
Yes.
Yes.
We seem to have cleared out immediate danger. Obviously, that can change in an instance in the jungle, but definitely keep your eyes peeled.
What are they kind of armed with? Can I tell? Like what kind of equipment do they have? Do they have what it looks like supplies for like multiple days just in case?
Yes, they all have large packs.
Okay.
Okano Mooks, he has no ranged weaponry on him that you can see, no pistols or anything. The other male with him has a pistol and a basic machete on his belt, and the female has a rifle.
Okano, can you use a
and
pistol?
like a dagger. I can. I prefer not to, though.
Are you good at it?
I wouldn't say good.
All
No
right.
whiz, but
All right. Well, anyway,
I can try.
What are the other two
I mean,
of your
can I
names?
use it? Yeah, I know how it works.
same.
What are the other 2 of your names, just so we have everyone?
The other 2 are Miyaki, which is the other male, and Miki is the female.
Oh, Renister.
Yes.
That Sun Drow elf thing we killed. Apparently that was one of the leaders of the river bandits.
Yes.
I thought you were going to bring up that Sun Drow aren't real.
They're not?
You didn't know he was being sarcastic?
You lions.
You just got to pick up the tones of my voice. I'm sorry. It's a
No.
drought thing.
Well, that's good to know.
Sun elf. That's what the sun elf. Sun
I don't.
elf. Come on.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I thought we'd just go with protocol how we move through the
Certainly.
jungle.
Yeah, let us know.
Miki normally watches our rear. I'm normally in the front. I'm the best at following trails and finding them, so to speak. And we keep Miyaki in the middle to kind of watch both of our backs.
Perfect.
So I don't know what you guys normally do, but
He is
primarily support.
He's typically good at following trails as well, so we can definitely
Sniffs them
assist in that.
anybody good at keeping their feet quiet, as they say.
Not I.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
He's decent.
I'm pretty okay.
Well, I mean, really, you guys can join whoever you want. We're not too far apart, only about 20 feet.
I can
Us,
help
but
keep you alive mostly.
That sounds good.
And
What is that?
in a fail safe, I can do a lot of other things too. But whatever.
Okay, 2 medics.
Very
So-
descriptive.
Yes. Of course, if you haven't had this relayed to you,
Thundersphere.
there's definitely a chance that we could run into some of the river bandits. We made contact with some of them while we were.
killed one of their leaders.
We did kill one of their leaders. That is correct.
And a giant snake ate another one.
Yes. Not on our side, but
Snake
happy
wasn't really a
accident.
big deal or a big threat at all, though. So I don't know what's the. Yeah.
At least the two of us. But anyway, with that being said, we will definitely move as a unit. I will try to keep anything that gets towards us out of your way. But
We brought enough supplies for the 6 of us to last a week out there.
sounds good to me.
Oh, sorry. A week is 10 days in this world. Not 10 days.
A little over
Last-
half a week.
About 7 days out there. So we can't go any further than 3.5 days away.
Okay.
Otherwise, we won't have enough to get back.
We have some too. We have some supplies.
Oh, well, that's good. We can do that then.
All right. Well,
When you say you keep us alive, what does that mean? You got tools in there?
Don't tell anyone I have healing magic.
if we're going to trust everyone, we might as well just be putting everything out on the
I
table.
reach out my hand to shake.
He shakes his hand.
The other one, I like make sparks and shit. I'm like, see, I can do all kinds of stuff.
Oh, that's impressive.
I know.
Miki just uses herbs and shit.
Yeah.
She like
People that
does.
just sort of like make the things and put them in bottles, and yeah, it's a.
Yeah, it's not
lesser
nearly
art
as
form,
cool
really.
as magic for
I
sure.
agree. Yeah. On a cool scale, there's no
But yeah,
contest.
the
None of you will get
the
healing
6
elixirs
of you head into the
I'm
woods.
gonna leave you in that noose next time.
I forget where exactly. Are we going to a specific area?
No, you were just heading south of Koi.
Because we know the camp is south. That's
yeah.
it.
The camp.
Bandit camp.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are specifically not looking for the bandit camp. You're looking
That's
for
what I thought. I didn't think we were
Kubo/Kwan.
looking for the band.
One of us might be looking for the bandit camp.
That's fine, but
I mean,
We said
two of us.
no
might
one
be.
else is looking
Well,
for
as
it.
far
They're
as like the
specifically trying to
giant,
find them.
massive open
Kwan.
south, we're like both the bandits and possibly Kubo are south. But that's
Yeah.
like saying like both. I don't know.
I hope this guy's not as
The
good
South
with a
Pole
gun.
and Brazil are south. They're
I hope,
very, very
I
different.
hope his brother's not as good with a gun.
Who wants to roll 2d6 for weather?
I got it.
Okay. Remember, add them up and tell me what you got.
5.
Dude, someone roll high for once. I'm gonna start rolling
No.
them.
Just switch it
Yeah.
so that heavy rain's low numbers.
We can't. I've been doing it.
Then we'll
No one
roll
else
high.
knows.
Yeah, it's just a light rain. What do you mean no one else knows?
Like
I feel like you guys have
audience.
picked up on that the low numbers are.
But if you tell us to change it, we're not going to be like, "Fuck, dude, not cool."
I will.
I will definitely.
I honestly will too. Yes, that's just a light rain. So the only people affected are Renisteer because everyone else has rice hats.
I will not lower myself for fashion.
And then it's and anything further than 100 feet is considered concealed to everybody except Eamon for reasons we can't divulge into.
That's in my new arc. He's anti-magic. I'm anti-hat.
It's elf blood. I'm not anti anything.
You're anti-racism.
Boo! I'm definitely not.
Yeah, he's anti-elf.
I'm a supporter.
I tried.
Okino would be in front. He says no one has to be with him, but
Isn't he sneaky?
he leads. I mean, no,
He's
they
a
don't really move through the forest
machete
in
and
stealth
shield.
because it would halve the distance you guys could get in an already overgrown
I think I
part
said
of
I
the
was
jungle.
in the middle.
What he would posit is that he's the only one 30 feet ahead, 3 people in the middle, and the 2 healers in the back.
Oh, yeah. So I'm in the back.
Me and Mickey.
Or more so, the people who would be best to just like dissipate into stealth, I guess.
Oh.
So you two and Miyaki in
The middle.
yes.
Renister's the real medic.
They normally move 30 feet, 30 feet, 30 feet. So you and Miki, Eamon, are 60 feet back from
I'll be in the back with
Okino,
Miki.
and then you two are in the middle.
The real medic is the friends we made along
Unless
the way.
anyone doesn't want to do that.
I'm fine being
No,
in the middle.
That's just what he posits. You guys
Yeah.
don't have to use that
Yeah.
formation.
Nah, that's fine.
Let's do it.
If you remember, you guys are leaving kind of in the middle of the day. At least it's not morning. This is the same
We got
day
Toby
where
first thing in the morning.
yeah, all of the Toby stuff happened.
Yes.
That day would basically just be making a bit of progress south. You wouldn't even get further south than when you guys went and got the Heliconias.
Do we know where we're heading? Have we talked about that, or are we just following them as far as their expertise goes?
Unless you pause it, Okino just kind of takes a winding path to not go in a straight line and try to hit more things if something pops up. But you're more so looking for signs of something.
So we're not going
then
back to the
follow.
same spot where we had signs earlier.
But yeah, so basically you're not going back to where you were, because if you don't remember, you basically followed all of those leads. You spent about an hour a couple hours looking around that area, spreading out. You followed both of the bandits that left, and obviously they're both dead, so they ran into dead ends. So unless you guys want to go back there with the three of them, they think it would be better to just go further south, because clearly you were yelling his name too, so clearly he's not within earshot of any of that area.
Yes. I don't think we knew.
We told them his name's possibly Quan. as well.
We didn't know his
For the-
name prior to
For the record,
talking to her,
his mom clarified he responds to Kubo.
Quan's more
Quan
likely.
is more so that
Trust me.
yes,
Trust
yes,
whoever's
is
screaming your
something
name.
that he would be more trustworthy of. It's not he won't respond to Kubo. It's if you say this, he'll be a lot more open to coming with you.
We
if you
only
find him.
found that out from her, right? Okay.
What can we do while we're traveling that does not slow our speed? Anything?
Probably, since you're literally looking for someone, seek. All of you would want to seek.
Okay.
I would probably real quickly. I'm sorry. Is it Okino who's in the front?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would probably touch base with Okino and say, "Do you think it would be wise to yell out for Quan, or would that draw too much attention?"
Probably. I don't like the idea of walking through the woods shouting.
I don't either.
especially the southern part of the jungle.
But granted, it is a big area.
Maybe not all the time, but on, let's say, 30-minute intervals.
I will leave the discretion up to you. Whenever you do, I will let you shout
Yeah,
for him,
I can
just
shout.
because you would have the best lead on when.
Yeah. And then hopefully if something does come, it comes from me first, and then we can all react from there.
That sounds like a solid start.
But yeah, that first half day goes by fine, and you guys go to set up camp.
I would like to finally use my snares.
I set them up around the camp.
I'm going to set them up around the camp. I'm going to try to find like the most
Yeah.
what seems like the easiest way to get into the camp.
If and when something happens, we can establish then the setup, you know what I mean? We don't have to spend... when something like that happens, we'll establish it instead of every night taking the time to be like, this is the layout, where do you set things up?
I would also just for not having... every single night we're out here, I'll set up the rain catcher.
Okay. They also brought one.
Okay.
Because rain catchers get enough water for 5 people, and there are 6 of you.
Yeah,
so you
okay.
would need
So
to
we'd
anyways.
both set ours
Yeah.
up then.
I can go without.
Okay.
You drink your own water?
That's why
Okino
my skin's blue.
You're like Bear Grylls.
recommends that instead of 6 watches, you guys take 3 and have 2 people per watch to mitigate issues of the most dangerous part of the jungle, getting ambushed in the middle of the night. So there's always 2 eyes at a time. He would come up with, based on what he knows about his people and the concept that he knows Eamon is the most perceptive out of all of you, is he would take a watch with Eamon because he's the least perceptive out of them. Renister would take his watch with Miki because she's the most perceptive out of the scouts, and Phosphorus would go with Miyaki because Miyaki's better than Okino but not as good as Miki.
Okay, sounds
All
good.
Does
Just
he
so,
just like tell us all of this, or
Yeah, basically. These are things that he would just like as you're traveling float past you. You do not. He is not telling you to do this. He is like, this is what I think would be best, and
Cool.
he can take.
I just got to think about it in context.
Yeah.
just so I have this properly documented, I
Uh-huh.
have my rations at 10 days. Do
You
we
guys
know
will not
exact-
have to keep track of any of your own food for this. They have brought enough food for all of you. The middle watch is the most dangerous because it's in the dead of night. And any of you guys have dark vision? Yeah.
No, I do not.
I can for about 10 minutes.
Well, that's not. Watch
I
won't
have-
be 10 minutes.
I do not.
I sort of use like the light cantrip and sort of
Mhm.
just like light my hand and show him like, see, I can do that. I know it's not.
Yeah.
I
dark
can make
vision,
the
but-
darkness feel
okay.
guilty.
Probably mean. What does that mean?
You'll see.
into the
You'll
past.
see.
Better not to ask.
She's really
Either
kind.
me and Eamon or Miki and Renister should take the middle watch because it'll be in the darkest part of the night. Probably you if you can do. Probably me and you if you can do that thing.
Sure. Yeah. You said
Ma-
the middle night's kind of like the most dangerous.
Yeah, well, it should be the whole watch will be in darkness. So,
Okay.
I'm not opposed. I think we should have light rather than just sit in the dark.
I would.
But we don't
prefer
need
that
to
too.
have light. They all have
Taking
flash
the
speed
alarms,
lanterns.
What did you say?
I debated for a long time to take the alarm spell or not, and I didn't. So
I might be able to learn it.
I
Find a
could,
spell scroll for it.
I could have taken an alarm snare that when it goes off, it shoots a flare into the sky that can be seen from 4 miles away.
And that's how you get a forest fire. Also great for gender
And-
reveals.
And
God damn it.
all right. Yeah. This is
So who wants first? Me-
This is
Renister?
Okino talking.
Yeah. Sorry.
We can take that.
I can take the middle.
Yeah. Me, you can take the middle.
I'm fine with taking first watch.
Okay. So yeah. Miki and Renister take first watch. Why don't you roll perception, Renister?
8.
Okay. I mean, this is why you're with Miki.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you notice that as the watch starts, Miki, as she watches, you see she takes out a small knife, and it looks like you guys are always set up on not super far apart from each other, but looking opposite directions, so that one of you can look one way and one of you can look the other. It looks like she's like whittling wood or carving wood to some degree, but she doesn't say anything if you don't. She just keeps watch.
Yep. Hmm.
Okay.
Stoic.
Then you guys wake up, Okino and Eamon. They all have tents as well.
So do I.
She would set
I
up a
don't.
flash beetle lantern, 2 of them by both of you, by either of you, I guess, for your guys' watch. Okino does the same for his, but you just use the light cantrip, I assume, for you, Eamon.
Yeah, I would just cast it on. If there was like, I'm guessing we're in a rainforest. There's probably trees around us.
Yeah, there'd be a good spot to put it.
I would cast it like the highest point I can. That like probably like 20 feet in the air because it shines down.
Yeah.
So just so it's like a
Lights up the whole.
light
Yeah.
over
perfect.
the camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little white blue orb just kind of lands on a tree and illuminates.
Give me a perception check, Eamon.
unnatural 20.
There you go.
Yeah, so while you're watching, it's a similar setup. One of you're kind of not literally back to back, but you're facing back to back.
Okay. Me and Okino.
Yeah, so that one of you is just in charge of looking one way, one of you's in charge of looking the other.
Just want to have my shield out and
Yeah,
look, I guess. I
he
don't know.
does the same. They when they take watch, Miki stood the whole time. Okino sits with his shield on his arm and his machete in hand.
I'm probably going to
Just
stand
standing.
and just kind of look around.
Yeah.
Nervously. Last time I did watch it, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, he does talk. He as you're standing and he's sitting there, he goes, he doesn't turn because he's keeping watch still, and he goes, I heard you had a run in with Carson.
Yeah. Yeah. Out of game. Carson's the elf, right?
Nope.
Who's Carson?
No idea. You don't know who that is.
Okay, back in game.
Heard that name before.
Who?
Sorry, yeah. You probably didn't get his name. I believe he called you in the slur thing.
Oh,
I don't know if it's okay to
Oh.
repeat it, but yeah, his name's Carson. Some of the guard know about him.
What? Why does he have like some kind of record or something? Does he
I
cause
mean,
trouble?
He was the most vocally opposed to us taking in Yinhe, but
Oh,
yeah,
I guess that makes sense.
yeah, he's from. I don't say this to justify his actions, but I think you of everyone deserve to know the context of why he feels that way about you.
Sure.
He's from North Thrognern, under the mountains.
Can I roll to see? I think I know exactly what he's talking about, but is there anything I can roll to know more, or just
Of like what that
does
place?
Eamon know more about that place, or know about that place in extreme
Yeah,
detail?
I can tell you because it is a prominent focal point for this city, Koi. So I can just tell you what you would have picked up being
Sure.
there, regardless. It's basically North and South Thrognern are dwarven holds that are underground, and they connect. They go under the mountains
Okay.
to the southeast of here, to
Yeah.
the east and southeast.
Have I ever been there before?
No,
probably
definitely not. You
Far
all of your
inland.
area here would have been in port
Coastal.
cities, yeah. And yeah, they are connected by a long stretch of Underdark. And yeah, he says his family, they used to be merchants. They ran the Black Mile down there. That's what most people call the most dangerous stretch of land between North and South Thrognern.
Yeah.
His whole family was slaughtered by drow in front of him.
Oh.
So, like I said, it doesn't really justify his actions, but I think that's why you really hit a nerve with him.
Yeah. I mean, humans kill a lot of people too, and most humans don't bother me. So
I agree.
got to learn how to do that.
Yeah. I just, at the very least, I hope the context helps understand and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
think that you're like, I did something wrong because you didn't.
I haven't lost any sleep over it. If you live your life and always listen to people like that, no matter what they say, it can kind of be a day ruiner pretty easily. So
That's very true.
I also was, been trying to find lost people and not die and stuff. So someone calling me a name is sort of the last on my list of priorities.
It's a pretty good point. How much do you know about Renisteer? Do you know where he trained?
Having known him all of how long have I known Renisteer?
About
weeks.
a week and a half now. Granted,
15 days.
Yeah, that's granted. A week and a half is around 15 days.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't known him long. What questions do you have about him? I can try to answer what I can.
I'm just curious where he learned the blade and the board, as they say.
Oh, yeah. He's from an order of people kind of like him. His god Tizetzios, the Order of Icar, I think is what it's called. They, I don't know if they teach everyone there the same skills Renisteer has. I think he might have had a life of combat and such before that. But as far as I know, most of what he knows has been taught to him by them. So they go out and seek to, as far as I know, protect the innocent.
Yeah, that's very as far as you know. Yeah,
And it seems like that's what he wants to do. He's the only one of that order I've ever met at all.
he'd make a good guard. He has
He
that
would.
kind of energy about him.
Yeah, I mean, if you have some of your higher ups that you can pass that word along to once you see him in action a bit, if you do, I know he'd love it. He hopes to be able to route out any negative things that are happening in the city. So, he also Phosphorus is kind of attached to him. So anything Renister gets into at this point, Phosphorus is going to be there too. I think he also doesn't mind if the innocent are saved.
What? Phosphorus?
Yeah. He's kind of on a similar page as Renister. Maybe not as serious about it, but
Are they both from this order?
I guess I haven't asked Phosphorus. I've just always kind of assumed absolutely not.
You've been around them enough. You would know that answer is no.
I did
This is
directly.
me as a joke trying to explain it. to
That's
him.
fair. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Out of game, I know 100%.
First episode, I laughed at you because you asked.
Yeah, I don't think so. He doesn't seem to be a very religious rat.
That checks out. He doesn't seem the order type of any kind.
Yeah, he's a man of science, and
I've
that
learned.
does not involve gods or orders or laws or rules or monkeys. All kinds of things. So
Well, if it's good to know. If I'll probably talk to them if I have any further questions.
yeah.
Um,
What about you? Like, what about your people? How out of game? How old does this person look? Is he human?
I wouldn't
right?
wouldn't say. Yeah, they're all humans.
that's what I thought.
They look of Asian descent. I wouldn't say he looks young adult, but he looks between young adult and middle aged. So
Okay.
probably like late 20s to 30s.
Okay, cool.
What you said? What about my people, or what did you say?
No, like, what about you? Where have you been in the guard long?
Yeah, I joined the guard as soon as I could. I was born and raised in Kauai.
Okay. Cool.
This is kind of the first crisis I've ever lived through.
Oh yeah.
The whole woodsman and bandits thing, but
How has that
well-
been? Have there been any like?
Econ said not to call it a crisis for people, but I think you guys can handle
I mean,
the word.
I almost got killed by. Yeah.
I start
This
crying
is
in
the
my
most.
sleep.
This is the most I've almost been killed my whole life. I think. Yeah. This is definitely the most I've almost been killed. So you can definitely call it a crisis. That's okay.
Yeah.
So, how has it been as far as like with the city? Have you had any first-hand encounters with these woodsmen or with
Oh,
these
yeah.
bandits at all?
Yeah, the three of us taking out a couple.
Good.
Nothing too crazy. They're real quiet, those motherfuckers.
Yeah, they snuck up on us when we were outside the city
But
multiple times.
yeah, nothing. Us scouts. There's kind of two distinctions in the guard. Less these days because we kind of just everybody fills in where they can.
Yeah, you seem pretty short-handed.
We're us three are scouts, which we go out and, as it sounds, scout, which is more prominent these days and dangerous. But we're looking for something to point us to any sort of direction to these woodsmen because they haven't really grown in number, but they haven't decreased either, and we've killed a good number of them.
You don't have much of a running theory.
I've never seen a tree move before, so not really.
Do you think they could be connected at all to the bandits in the locomotes?
I don't know. I heard one of the bandit leaders used magic. I'm not too well versed in it, but
Yeah.
I know the woodsman things are magic to some degree, so
Yeah.
it's about the only through line I know of. But if Tajima taught me anything, it's don't come to conclusion unless you got enough evidence for it.
Yep. That's definitely true. What do you think about of the elf that got hired at the Arcane
The
Assembly?
elf that got hired. Oh, Yunhee?
Mm-hmm.
She seems alright. I don't know if I've ever spoken to her in my life, but I don't really know what she does at the assembly, but her and Tajima been working on something.
Working on something?
Yeah. We're not allowed to know. It's confidential, but
Interesting.
they've been cooking something up, I think.
Has anyone ever tried to like physically do anything to harm her or get her out
Nah,
of the city whatsoever?
not really.
It's
Most
just been
people-
word of mouth type stuff.
Most people just try to keep their distance. With the people missing, this rumor going around that she eats people, but we talked to Econ about it, and it's like a
she
half.
definitely doesn't.
Yeah, it's like a half truth, like her people did, but not in the way that, I'm not too worried about her.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not worried about her either. She's been very kind to me so far.
I mean, I think she's our leading expert in these knowledge of the magic that makes the woodsman, but so
Yeah, I hope her knowledge comes through. She's really awesome. If you have a chance to talk to her, I'm sure she'd love to talk to you.
I don't know where you get that impression, but maybe, sure. I don't know. I don't know what we really talk about, but
Whatever you want. You seem like a friendly guy. I'm gonna look around and just
Yeah.
kind of like, as I'm, maybe just to look more like I kind of know what I'm doing. Like I know I've been talking to him for a while. I'm like, shit,
Yeah.
like maybe he's testing me. I should probably like show that I'm not just staring like across the fire at him. I gotta like. keep
yeah. Well,
looking around.
I specified unless you did differently. No, you guys have not been looking at her at this time, looking at each other. You guys have been
Okay,
still
cool,
keeping
cool.
watch.
Eamon will have turned by then and kind
That's
of
fair.
talking to like
Yeah,
the back
yeah.
of his head
'Cause-
because he's
yes.
not used to like back to back.
Yes, that's
watching
fair.
the woods. So I turned back to my spot really
Okay.
quick to be like,
There's 10 tree men in front of you.
Yeah.
they are quiet motherfuckers.
All you see is that everyone on your side of the camp is just dead.
Shit.
no,
I won't
actually.
be able to ask him now.
Yeah. Yeah, you go back to watching. Rest of your watch goes by fine.
Okay, sounds good.
And you guys wake up Phosphorus and Miyaki.
Phosphorus. I kind of like nudge you awake with my foot.
Yes.
Hey, It's your turn. Hold on. How long does the light spell last? Until the next time I make my daily preparations. So all night?
Yeah. Basically, if you cast it, it'll last until you make another one, or you dismiss it, or something like that. So you could just leave it up. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't even realize you could have had it up for the first watch too, but
Yeah.
I just didn't.
I didn't know that.
Look at the yeah. So you can leave it up. Yeah.
Cool. I'll leave it up. You're going to keep watch. What's his name? Okino was asking me if you were a part of the Order of Iker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't that hilarious?
I am.
He's not. You're
definitely not.
Yeah.
Like I say it quietly. I'm like, dude, you're definitely not.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
You're not. You've been awake for 3 seconds and you're already just. I go into my tent, zip it closed.
Yeah.
Are there zippers in this world?
You and me.
I button
no.
it closed.
Yeah.
I'll-
It's like a straight. Like you can. Like,
I Velcro it shut.
Yeah.
I'll walk towards the light and just with my last quick alchemy, reach my pocket, pull out a cup of coffee,
Okay. Yeah.
and start drinking.
Don't drink the coffee.
Yeah.
yourself
You
in your
you
tent.
and Miyaki, unless you say anything, nothing happens until the very end. Why don't you give me a perception check of your watch? Do you attempt to speak to him? No.
No.
Okay. I figured, but I'm gonna ask.
21.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys, the last half of your watch, is like early morning light, and then the beginnings of morning.
Is this night 1 or night?
This is night one.
Night
You've traveled
one.
like
Okay,
half a
cool,
day
cool.
south. And he gets up, and as everyone starts to rouse, and he just kind of walks over to you, and he holds out it's a small bottle of green liquid with some sort of small leaves in it. He hands it out to you, and he says, "Here,
Hands it to Phosphorus.
What is it?
soap. You look like you need it. So, it's my personal blend. It'll do wonders for your fur."
I'm good. I'll hand it back to him.
Oh, okay. But
White fur tends to stand out.
I don't know what that means.
I'll take it if you're
I'll,
willing.
I'll,
I think
I'll,
we're still
I'll like
asleep.
turn my head and I'll show like the white fur on the back.
You're not. That's not your normal fur color.
No.
We're still asleep.
Oh, we're still sleeping.
Oh. So don't
We're
you?
sleep talking.
Okay. He just seems very confused at the thought of someone not wanting to be clean, even if it's as you say. But yeah, he goes. He takes his stuff.
It's pet shampoo.
Wouldn't it eventually just wash out anyway? It's been light raining for like days.
I mean, you don't leave soap in. You like wash it out.
No, I mean his the sootness fur.
There's a lot of it. Well,
It's baked in.
the reason why he was progressively getting whiter, but then he blew up the whole den, and now he is back, and it is progressive again. But yeah, that is the end of that day. All of you get up.
I have a hat. I mean, it kind of stays dry on my face.
If any of you don't have anybody not have full health,
I don't, but I
I-
think my con modifier puts me to full. I'm at 30 out of 32.
I don't.
Yep.
My con modifier does not put me to full.
Okay.
What do I roll? Or do I
You don't
get?
roll anything. You get on a long rest. You get amount of health back from your con modifier times your level.
Okay, so I get 2.
For the sake of time, I'm going to read this to you guys because not much would happen for a couple days. And unless you guys would want to change anything about formation or watches or anything, all of that would stay the same. So nothing would come up that would prompt that.
I just keep doing the seek action. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's back at full then.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you would be at full. That's my bad. Yeah. Duh. Yeah, so as you travel south, 2 more days go by with nothing found. You keep up the calling for Quan/Kubo for a couple minutes out of every 30 minutes. You find no sign of him, bandits, or really anything of note. Everything you've heard about the southern jungle rings true, however. The undergrowth is the densest you've ever seen it, and you have to fight off/scare off many wild animals. Nothing too major, just nothing that 6 trained combatants could
Give it to me straight, Doc. How many monkeys died?
None of the monkeys attack you. Weirdly enough, monkeys don't really go out of
But
their
how
way
many
to
did
attack.
he attack?
They've heard the legend of phosphorus.
Oh, they just swarm you. That's actually not. All the while Okino leads the way, Miki in the rear and Miyaki in the middle, with all of you in your respective positions as well. They give you a brief rundown of some of the signals they use. A slight raised clenched fist means stop, and a slightly raised clenched fist with a thumb out means stop, danger ahead. Pointer finger towards the ground means get low and hide immediately, and a pinched pointer finger and thumb means all clear, kind of like an okay signal. They have more, but those are the most important ones for you to know. Okino in the front is normally the one to give them because you're all looking towards him. That comes up a couple times when animals cross or whatever. Nothing too crazy. Around evening on the third day, so you went through that full first day, went through that full second day, and now you are towards evening on the third day. You will camp this day and then have to turn around because that is you've made 3.5 days of progress.
Okay.
But the evening of the third day,
Just like Jesus.
The stone was rolled
Okino
away.
stops and raises a fist. After a few moments spent listening, he raises the all clear sign and motions for everyone to join him. You see coming from the west and taking a sharp turn south, heading roughly the same direction you are already, going are a set of 3-foot diameter round divots in the ground. They don't go too far to the west, and the furthest divots appear to be filling themselves in, returning to standard flat ground.
How deep are they?
Not
So
too
3
deep.
foot in diameter. It's like a 3-foot circle.
3 foot wide in diameter, yes, but depth only a couple inches, maybe.
They're
3 to
starting
4
to
inches.
disappear.
Yeah, the furthest ones are. It's like filling in as it goes.
Can I look up to check like the canopies?
Anybody else?
I'm gonna ask all the scouts
Yeah.
what
I
they
don't-
think.
Yeah, any idea what could make these prints?
Any of you can roll nature. I'll
I'm gonna
have them
cast
as well.
guidance on one of them, the one who seems to be knowing what they're doing the
Okay.
most.
For sure. If I surround you, roll perception. We won't keep it secret because I don't have a ton pulled up.
20.
Guidance is a +1.
Guidance is a +1, yes.
Okay. 20. You don't see really anything up there that would like ring any alarm bells or anything. Did you roll nature? Anybody roll
No,
nature?
not me.
Okay, they just them. Yeah. Miyaki steps forward and explains, looking at it, the unevenness on the edges of the divot. They kind of look like something took a big tree trunk and just like pushed it into the ground.
Someone's using trees as stilts.
Eamon, why don't you roll a nature check for me?
Can I?
Anyone want to look around at these footprints further, or like in the area?
That'd be
Just like a quick
investigation?
perception check?
Oh, yeah, no, I'll do that. then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I will as well, but I'm gonna hide first.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just getting paranoid about this.
Yeah, go for it.
21.
If you're hiding, I'm not going to have you check yet
Yeah.
for a perception. Yeah, so it's stealth check, perception check for Renisteer. What did you get, Eamon, for nature?
10.
Okay. You can definitely tell that some magic is filling these things in, but other than that, you
Detect
don't really
magic.
know.
Can I just use that?
Yeah.
And I get a ping?
Yep.
Okay.
Renisteer, what'd you get? Sorry.
21.
Okay.
22.
Which way do they seem to be filling in? Like coming towards us or following the trail like away? Because it is a trail, right?
Yeah, it looks like they are filling themselves in. They looks like it comes from the west and then bends south, and it looks like it is just filling them in as it goes
How
to the
quickly?
west and south.
Like
Not
when-
super quickly. In the time you stand there, probably 4 have filled in, and it's getting close to the bend that you're kind of at where they turn. But
I just want to say, guys, you probably already saw this. They're filling in. I don't know if it's on their own or not. I sort of point down to the or over to the west, I guess, and say, but you guys would have seen me cast a cantrip, and there is magic at play here as far as what's filling these in, and I'm guessing as far as what made them as well. They're not going too fast. Do you think we should? I turn to the scouts. Do you think we should follow these?
Okino says, absolutely. Renisteer, you you and Miki and Miyaki kind of look around. You and Miyaki come to the conclusion that the spacing of them is reminiscent of footprints of something walking. And you also find Renestier. There is a kind of off to the side a little bit, only about a couple feet. One of the footprints just doesn't look like it was purposefully hidden, but just like fell through a bunch of undergrowth. You find a clump of viscous dark green mucus type something.
Well, it is definitely not a fox. Well, pretty good indicator.
Can I?
Do you? I assume you point out the
Yes.
Anyone who wishes to look at and suss out the mucus can roll medicine.
We'll try it. I got 15.
21.
Yeah, you have some medical knowledge, Renestier, just because it. Oh, sorry, phosphorus, just because it. Some of it is needed to like overlap on the alchemy stuff you do, and you know a little bit about how birth works as much as anyone would, and you're just getting weird placenta vibes from this thing. It reminds you a lot in texture and just how it's made of placenta. Does anyone out of game not know what placenta is? That's an important thing to.
Where's the clit?
I think it's time we have that
Are
talk.
we supposed to? Are we supposed to eat it?
Oh my god!
Just like the Native Americans.
I knew this was a mistake describing it in that way.
You should call it a baby. Anyway. So Renestier's holding this, and he found it like in one of these prints.
No, it was a little bit to the right of one of the right ones, like a couple feet. It was hidden amongst some of the shrubbery. It didn't look intentionally hidden. It just like was under the shrubbery, so it's
Phosphorus
easily
and I
missed.
are just kind of giving it a once over.
Yeah, and
phosphorus.
phosphorus.
You get anything? I don't.
Seems like placenta.
I just
Does
sort
it?
of like I have a lizard face, but it sort of scrunches up a little bit, and I start like wiping my hands on my armor.
Okay. So there's. Do these things look okay? In my head, the way you described them, they look like perfect circles. Do they have
No.
things and then that
They-
actually look like feet?
Nothing looks like feet. It is a circular indent, but it is not a perfect circle.
Okay.
Like I said, Miyaki said it kind of reminds him of a tree trunk.
Just round in nature.
Yeah, just generally round, but not perfectly round. And then Miyaki and Renestier,
Do you
well,
think
discerned
this
the
might-
distance of them looked like footprints.
This might be how the
the woodmen
tree men are
born?
able to sneak up so well. Does this mean that they birth each other?
Are they
Horrible
born?
thought.
Look, everybody, quickly look for a baby woodman.
Is it just baby Groot?
Can I do a quick look around to see if anyone's watching us?
Yeah. Anybody can roll perception.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
It's a 13.
Jesus
The
Christ.
divots have now filled into the bend. You are at no risk of losing this trail unless you wait here for 5 more minutes or whatever. But
Let's wait another 10 minutes and see where it goes.
21. I rolled 5 18s.
I got a 10,
One.
so
I've not gotten above 15 yet. Last session I've rolled very well, so karma.
yeah, Miyaki and Miki are both very on guard as Okuno kind of talks to you guys over about what happened, and none of you see anything in the trees that alarms anything or anywhere really.
Should we get back in marching order and follow this thing?
Yes, probably quietly. Oh, sorry, probably quietly.
I click the
Okuno
left stick
says.
and go into stealth.
The eye appears, Skyrim style.
So could he do follow the leader and follow me?
Yeah, he would not be opposed
follow
if you
the
wanted for you and him to just lead, though. Because, I mean, by now they've noticed that
yeah, I
The-
don't know if I
the
sweat, but I'm
bones
wiping the
clink a
sweat
little
from
bit.
my
my
head.
So yeah,
Stealth, huh?
you and Okuno can attempt to follow his lead in stealth, or you can just walk with him, Okuno, in the front.
So-
you and Okuno are.
Okuno's not going quietly.
Yeah, he's going to walk with the shield raised.
Then yes, I will do that as well.
Okay.
I would like to fan out into the forest to the right.
Okay.
I'll go on the left side of the trails.
Okay. Do you want to be back with Miki still, or towards the middle?
Is Mickey a stealthy lady?
Very.
Okay, I'm gonna just kind of be with her.
Okay. Yeah.
She also has a rifle, and I
Do
feel
you
safe.
you want to like be right with her, or you're left, she's right back?
I just want to be a little bit behind and to the right of her.
Okay. Perfect.
Can I use my previous stealth check?
No. Everybody need a stealth check except for
Okay.
Restier.
14.
That's a 24 with a natural 20.
Okay.
I've rolled
Word.
stupidly good. This is
Phosphorus
not
kind
good.
of goes off to the right, and where is he? Nobody ever knows. You never hear from him. ever
Silent
again.
as the grave.
Until the
no,
screams
not
start.
or a
Um,
shoebox in your case.
Yeah, so you guys move forward half the speed you were before, but as you follow the divots for a couple minutes, they eventually lead you to a tree, one of the smaller ones in the jungle, only about 12 feet tall, dark brown bark, branches filled with leaves. Why don't everyone give me a perception check? All of you are still a good... Okano and Renisteer are 40 feet away from the divots when they...
Oh, and I have a
eventually lead to
negative
this
1 to
tree.
perception, right?
Currently, yeah. On top of your
That's a
bonus.
6, baby.
Normally.
5.
Dirty 20.
Thank goodness someone's watching.
Phosphorus, you're still a good, 60, 70 feet away from this tree or whatever. But you notice an ever so slight glow in its branches. It's really easy to miss because the sun's still out, and it's a dim green glow, so it's really hard to catch in the green leaves. And as you look towards the trunk of the tree, you notice the roots are placed oddly, and they aren't quite fully settled into the dirt.
And it's like 60 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try to go back to the group and point it out quietly?
Yeah, you are all split up,
Meaning-
Okay.
but you can gather everyone.
Yeah. I'll gather everyone and just point out where the roots are.
Can I look up the tree? Is it connected to anything?
Connected to anything? Like vines
Like
coming
giant
onto it or
legs of
something?
a tree beast.
You all notice the dim glow. You can't quite make out what's making it in the leaves. It's a heavy canopy of leaves on it, but
So the base of this tree is kind of glowing.
no. There's something glowing within its canopy and leaves.
Oh,
The
okay,
base of
okay,
the tree,
yep,
the
yep.
roots don't look fully settled.
Okay.
I'm
Should
gonna-
we try to check it out?
I'm going to sneak away from the group again.
Does Miki's rifle have a scope on it?
No, but it's got a range of 150 feet.
I'm not going to tell her to shoot it.
I will. Can I see?
Should we try to get
Can
closer
I just
to the
try
tree
to
first?
examine it further to see if it has a shape of some creature trying to pretend to be a tree?
Yeah. Anyone who wants to further look at the tree, you guys are still 60 feet away. Just for the record,
Okay.
no one has
use-
approached yet. Not
I'm-
that you need to, just clarifying.
I'm going to get closer, but stealth.
Okay.
Can I do
How close would
detect-
you like to try to get before you stop? Just for,
My range is 30 feet, right? No,
Yeah.
it hasn't increased yet, has it? No.
What? Your bomb range?
Yeah.
Yeah, your bomb range is 30 feet. Your
Okay.
movement speed is 25.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's 30 feet.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you roll stealth?
I wanted to do detect magic, but I can't use my rangey thing on it.
22. This is going to go south.
What
I'll just try to
what
convince whoever's next to me. I guess
You're all
Phosphorus
together
ran off.
except.
I'm just
Phosphorus,
trying to
yeah.
see if the tree looks like it's humanoid in shape or something trying to pretend to
think-
be just part of the canopy.
I think some
Yeah.
people should try to get closer. We're still pretty far off before we know what.
Anybody
this
know
is.
where Phosphorus went? Ogano
He's-
says worriedly.
He's doing what he should.
If the tree catches on fire soon, don't freak out.
It's probably for our benefit, as
Okay.
much as I hate to say that.
So you move up to 30 feet.
I would like to try to get back into stealth.
As
I would
soon
say
as he
if
hits
Miki
30
wants
feet,
to
which
move
is why you guys
closer.
are talking, we are rolling for initiative. Finally, some sort of lead after 3 days of searching. But a fight that will bring our party to the brink of death is on the horizon. Will they make it out with no losses? What exactly are they fighting? And does it even have anything to do with Kubo? Find out next time on Dying 5. If If you enjoyed today's episode, consider leaving us a review on whatever platform you listen on. We'd love to hear your feedback. And if anyone in your life just can't get enough tabletop RPG action, send them our way. If tabletops have taught me anything, it's that good stories become great ones when you have some folks to share them with. And as always, thanks for listening.